Nobody can stop you from thinking big. Once you get a taste of thinking big and learn the kick-ass way, you'll never want to stop, and the rich rewards will come to you. It's Donald's secret of thinking big and kicking ass. Practice it, and you too will be prosperous in business and life. Chapter 1. Do you have what it takes? People always ask me, how did you get so rich? The way I do things has allowed me to succeed financially far beyond what I had expected. I have had a lot of fun, and I've made a lot of money. I have known many celebrities, billionaire business people, and superstar sports figures. It's not easy to explain in a couple of words, but I have noticed that all these successful people have traits that set them apart from the pack. Their attitudes, actions, persistence, and passion, plus a whole slew of other qualities that separate the winners from the losers. To be successful, you have to separate yourself from 98% of the rest of the world. Sure, you can get into that special 2% at the top, and it's not just by being smart, working hard, and investing wisely. There is a formula, a recipe for success that the top 2% live by, and that you too can follow to be successful. First, you must be honest with yourself. The only way to get rich is to be realistic and brutally honest. You have to get out of the ideal fantasy world you read about in magazines and see on TV. It's not as easy as they make it look. It's tough, and people get hurt. So you have to be as tough as nails and willing to kick ass if you want to win. Most people are not cut out for this. You have to deal with a tremendous amount of pressure. You have to think large and be creative to solve big problems that scare the crap out of most people. People are going to try to steal from you and destroy you just for the fun of it. You have to stand up to them, fight back, and kick their ass. And nobody is going to hold your hand and help you along. You are on your own. You have to be able to bend, but never break. All of the greats in every sport, in finance, in business, in the arts, and in government possess something special. A lot of people have it, but frankly, most people do not. Do you have what it takes to think big and kick ass? Virtually all self-made millionaires and billionaires, such as Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, and Walt Disney, had the ability to think big and kick ass. Rich people are rich because they solve difficult problems. You must learn to thrive on problems. CEOs of big companies are paid huge amounts of money because they solve problems that nobody else can solve. Some are good at what they do, and some are terrible and overpaid. I face problems every day. It's one of the things I do best. If you want to be in the top 2%, you must become very good at finding creative solutions to what appear to be impossible problems. 7. What is your attitude toward work? There's no worse feeling than being trapped in a job you do not enjoy. You have to love what you do. To be a success, the most important thing is to love what you do. You have to put in long hours and face enormous challenges to be successful. If you do not love what you do, you will never make it through. But if you love your work, the difficulties will be balanced out by the enjoyment. I love making deals and constructing great buildings. The fun I'm having every day keeps me going when things get tough. 8. What would you do if you lost your job or source of income? This is the ultimate test. If disaster struck, would you fold up and go home to your mother? Or would you pick yourself up and make something happen? The biggest doers often suffer the biggest setbacks in life. So if you want to aim high, you have to have the guts to handle the inevitable bumps in the road. If you strike out, nobody is going to help you. Not your friends, not the government. You have to look out for yourself. And your attitude is the key to surviving a setback. Look at shoe maven Steve Madden. He had some legal trouble, but he had a successful attitude that could not be subdued, and he staged a big-time comeback. You have to know that you have what it takes to come back from anything. Martha Stewart is another example. What a great and brave comeback she made. Few people could have done what she did. 9. Which statement best describes your energy and concentration level? In truth, you have more energy than you think you have. Most people are working at about 50% capacity. You can do much more. It takes a crisis or an emergency to get most people up to full steam. I get charged up by loving what I do. Nothing is more important to me than the excitement of putting caution to the wind and doing something that has never been done before. I love the thrill of jumping headfirst into a big challenge and then using all of my talents to make it successful. Passion is why Mark Burnett, Jim Cramer, and Arnold Schwarzenegger are at the tops of their fields. All successful people are high-energy people who are passionate about what they do. Find a passion that energizes you. 10. Which best describes your reaction when someone tells you that you cannot do something? If you want to be a success, you have to get used to frequently hearing the word no and ignoring it. As a child, when your mother told you no, your father told you no, the teacher told you no, or the coach told you no, if you were a good little boy or girl, you listened to the word no and stopped what you were doing. That's why 98% of adults are conditioned to stop when they hear the word no. Quitters do not get anywhere. You won't be successful if you listen to no's. If you want to be in the top 2%, you have to get real. In business, you're not dealing with your mother, your father, or your teacher. People are not looking out for you. They do not want the best for you. They are looking out for themselves. When most people say no, they're doing it to further their own ends. Don't let somebody's arbitrary no stop you. Find a way to turn the no into a yes, or find a creative way to sidestep the no. Don't let anybody stop you. 11. You have an important decision to make, and you do not know what to do. Which statement best describes your decision-making process? I really believe that if you're good, and if you're smart, and if you know your business, you have to go with your gut on occasion, and go against the tide. In some of the best deals I've made, I went against what everybody else believed. Television producer Mark Burnett went from selling T-shirts on Venice Beach to reaching the pinnacle of Hollywood power because he followed his instincts about the kind of reality TV that would appeal to the masses. We all have instincts. The important thing is to know how to use them. You may have superb academic credentials, but if you don't use your instincts, you might have a hard time getting to and staying at the top. 12. What is your attitude toward people? The world is a vicious and brutal place. We think we're civilized, but in truth, it's a cruel world and people are ruthless. They act nice to your face, but underneath, they're out to kill you. You have to know how to defend yourself. People will be mean and nasty and try to hurt you just for sport. Lions in the jungle only kill for food, but humans kill for fun. Even your friends are out to get you. They want your job, they want your house, they want your money, they want your wife, and they even want your dog. And those are your friends. Your enemies are even worse. My motto is hire the best people and don't trust them. 13. When someone intentionally harms you or your reputation, how do you react? When someone crosses you, my advice is get even. That's not typical advice, but it's real-life advice. If you don't get even, you're just a schmuck. When people wrong you, go after those people because it's a good feeling and because other people will see you doing it. I love getting even. I get screwed all the time, and I go after people. And you know what? People do not play around with me as much as they do with others. They know that if they do, they're in for a big fight. Always get even. Go after people that go after you. Don't let people push you around. Always fight back and always get even. It's a jungle out there, filled with bullies of all kinds who will try to push you around. If you're afraid to fight back, people will think of you as a loser, a schmuck. They will know they can get away with insulting you, disrespecting you, and taking advantage of you. Don't let it happen. Always fight back and get even. People will respect you for it. 14. You are on a roll, and everything seems to be going your way. What do you do now? If you're on a quest for the golden ring, you cannot afford to be complacent. You can never rest, no matter how good things are going. Your current good times are only a result of the hard work and dedication you have put forth. What you do today will produce results tomorrow. If you want to keep the good times rolling, you have to keep on planting those seeds every day. If you stop focusing even for 1 minute, you will start slipping backwards. It's true that a few people are born to be successful. They possess a special talent that makes it easy to succeed. The gifted musician, the natural athlete, or the talented business person. But the vast majority of successful people were not handed success on a silver platter. They worked hard for it. They set goals, and they stayed focused until they reached them. Some people are born with an exceptional talent that makes it easy for them to excel, like Mozart or Shakespeare. But most great successes weren't born that way. It took many years of hard work and intense focus to get to the top. 15. What is your attitude toward the business of being married? Now, I have seen bad deals. I have seen bad partnerships. I have seen many business deals in litigation, and litigation is not nice. But there is nothing worse than a man and a woman who fight, especially when they are fighting over their assets, their business, their home, their cars, and everything else. It is terrible. You were in love with somebody, and now you are no longer in love. The hatred is so intense, far more intense than it usually gets in a business transaction. There's nothing more vicious than a man or woman going through a divorce. It's pure hell, like nothing else I have ever seen. You need a prenuptial agreement to protect yourself and your business interests. Marriage is a contract unlike any other contract in life. You marry for love. But your signature on the marriage certificate is all about rights, duties, and property. It's a legally binding contract that knows nothing of love. If the love dies, all you have left is a resentful ex-spouse and the marriage certificate. There's nothing more terrible than an ex-spouse with a 10-ton axe to grind and no agreement on how your common property is to be divided. It usually leads to all-out war that is more vicious than any legal battle in business and can easily lead to your financial and emotional ruin. Always get a prenup. It's just too risky not to. So, how did you score on the test? Let's cut to the chase. If you scored a 46 to 60, you are making the grade. You are one of the top 2% who have what it takes to make it big. If you work hard, you may become more successful than someone with a high IQ or an MBA. I've seen it all my life. I went to the Wharton School of Finance with some great students. I still know many of them today. And with a few exceptions, they are not very successful. I've seen people who could not even get into Wharton, who went to other colleges or no college at all. But they focused on their goals and never quit. They worked hard and they loved what they were doing. And they ended up being more successful than the genius students at Wharton. Hard work is my personal method for financial success. I know a lot of people who do not have great talent, but they are rich. You can do it too. The principles in this audiobook will help anyone, no matter what their background. If you did not score between 46 and 60, then listen to this audiobook now. Underline what is missing in your life, and especially important, absorb the attitudes expressed in my stories. Feel what I'm feeling, and make my attitude your attitude. Then retake the test. You will score much higher after listening to this book. Zanker's Take. As president and founder of I Love Ya Chutzpah, I've had the opportunity to observe hundreds of super successful people firsthand. Millionaires and billionaires who have risen above the ordinary to achieve amazing things in life. They all possess one very important quality: persistence. Look at Donald Trump, for example. He personifies the word persistence. He never quits, even when he was down and out. More than anything else, it takes persistence to do the things you need to get to the top. How many days do you feel like you can't do it anymore? Can't make the call or knock on the door? How many times can you get rejected, yet you know you're just so close? How many times do you have to ignore people hounding you for money while you're moving heaven and earth to make you and your family's dreams happen? We have all been there. It's hard, but the rewards are great. So don't stop until you achieve your dreams. It takes persistence to knock on door after door and deal with rejection after rejection without knowing whether you will ever be successful. And when you finally break through and land a great client or a great job or venture capital for your startup business, it takes persistence to sign on the dotted line and commit to fulfilling what you promised you would do. It takes persistence to face the difficult problems that nobody can help you solve. It takes persistence to endure setbacks and come back with the same level of intensity and enthusiasm you had before. And when you finally succeed, it takes persistence to fight back when rivals, competitors, and bullies come after you to take you down. I learned how persistence works long ago when I was building I Love Your Chutzpah. Find your passion. Don't think about how you can make money. Instead, think about what you can produce or what service you can offer that is valuable and useful to people and to your community. What needs to be improved? What can be done in a better or more efficient way? What problem can you solve? What needs can you fulfill? And most important, what will you have fun doing? Sure, you need to get paid for your work, and you will if you provide something valuable. And in the game of life, money is how you score. But the real fun is not in simply scoring. Rather, it is in the excitement you will have coming up with creative ways to get the ball in the goal. Find your passion in doing something useful for people, and the money will follow. It may sound simple, but I have become a billionaire many times over by sticking with this simple philosophy. Many people believe that I started out with a lot of money from my father. The truth is that when I started out in business, I was practically broke. My father didn't give me much money, but what he did give me was a good education and the simple formula for getting wealthy. Work hard doing what you love. In the early 70s, when New York City was in big financial trouble, the area around Grand Central Terminal on 42nd Street was quickly deteriorating. Many buildings were in foreclosure. The old Commodore Hotel, in terrible disrepair, was losing money by the fistful and becoming a hangout for derelicts. If someone hadn't done something soon, this area would become a slum. I knew I could make money there, but I wanted to only if I could make a difference, only if I could take an ugly, run-down hotel and turn it into a beautiful and desirable place to stay. By transforming the Commodore into the new, sleek Grand Hyatt, I created a renewal in that neighborhood that continues to this day, and I made money doing it. With everything you do, find a mission or grand purpose beyond when money. I bought it, you can become passionate. I love your chutzpah. Find the higher ground above the greedy exclusiveness of people who only care about money. Broaden your vision to see the total picture of what you are offering. Fill as many needs as you can, creating beauty, efficiency, health, security, and livelihood for as many people as possible. If you want to do really big things in life, then you have to have monumental enthusiasm and passion. To be done right, every job requires passion. The doorman, the waiter, and the receptionist are there to greet each visitor with enthusiasm. No matter what your job is presently, do it with passion and magic will happen. you will meet the right person and get noticed. I've seen this over and over again. How much more passion is needed to be a great entrepreneur or artist? Find a noble cause and get behind it with all your heart and soul. Without passion, life lacks luster. Passion gives you the intestinal fortitude you need to never give up. My Grand Hyatt triumph did not come without the high price of dedication, persistence, and hard work. Through all the challenges, my passion for turning something ugly into something compelling and appealing kept me going and enabled me to get many other people to share in my vision. How do you find your passion? Try this. For a moment, put aside any judgments and rational assessment you may have. Start daydreaming about what you really and truly love to do. If you could do one thing in life, what would it be? What do you get so caught up in the fun of doing that you lose track of time? What would you enjoy doing so much you would do it even without getting paid? What have you been doing when you were very satisfied with yourself? What kinds of things put you in a zone and lead to peak experiences? If you could be somebody that you admire, who would it be? Then, be realistic. Doing what you love also means doing something you can do, something you're good at. Think about your strengths. Find out what you're good at. Think about your unique talents and the things you have done that you are most proud of. What kinds of activities come easily and naturally to you? When you think of work you love, think big. Think of amazing accomplishments. And think of the joy and fulfillment you will derive. Because no was not an option. I see it all the time. The most successful people I have learned from just never take no for an answer. They have all had to endure big challenges to get where they are. They've had to overcome the odds that stop most people from making it big. To do this, they've had to develop the habit of persistence. You're going to learn a lot in this audiobook, but as a small business owner, never giving up is the most important attribute you can learn. To sum it up, winners in life have a special quality that I call the Trump it quality, which sets them apart from 98% of the population. There's a formula you can follow to be a winner in life, but you must be brutally honest with yourself. Getting rich is tough, and people get hurt. You have to be as tough as nails and willing to kick ass if you want to win. Points to remember. Dream big, because what you dream is what you will do. If you want to make tons of money, don't be shy. Set a big goal. Be lean and hungry, and at every level, set even higher goals and challenges for yourself. Take action every day and stay focused for the long haul. Soak up more and more knowledge so that you always know what you're doing. Pride yourself on your ability to find creative solutions to tough problems. Be passionate about your work. Never take no for an answer. Learn to trust your gut. Hire the best people and do not trust them. Get even with people who do you wrong. Never stop focusing on your objectives, even when things are good. Always get a prenuptial agreement. Chapter 2. Passion, passion, passion. You have to love what you do, or you are never going to be successful, no matter what you do in life. If you love what you do, you're going to work harder. You're going to try harder. You're going to be better at it, and you're going to enjoy your life more. The most important things are knowing your business and loving what you do, both of which solve a lot of problems. The first paragraph in my first book, The Art of the Deal, is I don't do it for the money. I've got enough, much more than I'll ever need. I do it to do it. Deals are my art form. Other people paint beautifully on canvas or write beautiful poetry. I like making deals, preferably big deals. That's how I get my kicks. Now it's 20 years later, and I'm still making deals, big deals. That's still how I get my kicks. It works. I focused on my passion, and a lot of money has come to me. I am much wealthier than I was when I wrote my first book. I am so passionate about my work that to me there is nothing better, which is the greatest feeling. Some nights I can't even sleep. I want to wake up so badly and go to work. Since I wrote that book, I've gone through some really rough times. I almost lost everything in the early 90s, but I got through it all and survived and thrived. My real estate business is better than ever, and fate has brought me some unexpected surprises. I've gotten into television with my hit show, The Apprentice, and I own Miss Universe and Miss USA, two very successful beauty pageants broadcast on NBC. The Learning Annex speeches have become a phenomenal hit. So here I am, with The Apprentice entering yet another season and the Learning Annex Wealth Expo touring the country. My motivation for doing these projects was never the money. I wasn't even looking for these projects, but my reputation for being passionate about my work is well known. What I do passionately every day fit well with these new enterprises, so they found me. You can't just sit around waiting for deals, opportunities, or a lucky break. You have to work passionately at something you love to do, and the momentum you build will work in your favor and bring other good things your way. If money were my only goal, I would have passed up a lot of my most important work. For example, if I based my decision solely on monetary gain, I would have never done the Woolman skating rink in New York Central Park. The rink, originally built in 1950, was closed by the city in 1980 for renovation. The city spent years and $20 million on renovations, and in 1986 it was nowhere near finished. I love New York City, and I wanted to provide people with a wonderful recreation center in the heart of Manhattan. I had built major skyscrapers in less than 2 years. I felt I could easily renovate a skating rink in a matter of months. I took on the project to save the city time and money. My motive was to provide a service, not to make money.